So I want to bring in Danny Cevallos now. And Danny, we heard some interesting new details there from the district attorney. Specifically, she pointed out that at least some of the charges named in this indictment, involved in this indictment, are not eligible for probation, meaning there is a mandatory prison sentence there. And on timing, she is hoping for a trial within the next 6 months. I don't have to tell you or our viewers that that puts us right up to the starting line of voters heading to the polls in the 2024 campaign. Former President Trump, of course, is a front runner in that campaign. Talk us through your takeaways here on trial timing, on the charges, and what we just heard from the district attorney.
It seems impossible that this case could go to trial sometime next year in 2024. It actually seems impossible that it could go to trial in 2026. I'm not being glib here. When you look at the fact that the other current high-profile racketeering case that is pending in the same county has been in jury selection for 8 months. And if the name of the trial isn't at the tip of your tongue, then that's evidence that as high-profile as that trial is, and they can't seat a jury, this trial is 100 times as high-profile. And keep in mind also now there are many co-defendants. Each one of those co-defendants is charged with different crimes, and each one of those defendants is going to be filing motions to sever, motions to continue, motions to dismiss. All of these need to be decided. There's simply no way that this case could go to trial in the next 2 years, Hallie. I don't see it happening. And that, again, is part of life practicing in state courts. Things just take longer there, usually inures to the benefit of the defense as well. But of course, in a sense, for purposes of prosecuting Trump, it doesn't really matter how long this trial takes, because this is one of the cases, a state case, that Trump cannot pardon. He cannot appoint an attorney general to dismiss the case and end it. Trump is going to go to trial. It may not be this year, it may not be next year, it may not even be the year after that, but it's going to happen.
One of the things, as we bring in now NBC News legal analyst Carol Lamb, Carol, that we also heard from the district attorney in response to a question about whether she seeks to try all 19 defendants at the same time, she said definitively, yes, that is the case. That also presents, to Danny's point here, a complicating factor in the timeline here. Unlike the other indictments that former President Trump faces, where he is one of either just a few or the only defendant, there are a slew of people involved in this case.
Exactly right, Hallie, and that actually makes the whole analysis easier. If Fani Willis is going to try all of these defendants together, this case is not happening before the 2024 election. Jack Smith made a very strategic decision to leave off Donald Trump. He named a number of co-conspirators in the indictment, but Donald Trump stands alone as the only defendant in the election interference case in Washington, D.C. And what that means is that there's a much better chance that that case is going to actually happen, get to trial, maybe even finish the trial before the 2024 election, certainly before the inauguration. That's not going to happen in Fani Willis's case. But again, because he cannot pardon himself or anyone else with respect to a state case, then the case can simply drag out either through the presidency or even after the presidency, and it won't make a difference. So I think the way this has been charged and the way these kinds of cases go in state court, it's basically made the decision for everybody that this case is not going to happen before the 2024 election.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.